Okay, so I hope all of you are well out there in this strange time we're living in. Obviously no Ullapool Guitar Festival this year, so that's a real shame. But everybody needs to stay safe, so it's a good decision. Richard has asked us to have a chat about what we've been up to. Obviously not gigging, that would be the main thing, but for the rest of us who are involved in other things like writing, etc., that's what I've been concentrating more on. So I've done a lot of work on compositions that I've been writing originally, or I've started working on some new material as well. And for me this involves various things. I've got a very nice filed nylon string guitar that I got from Roger in Ullapool, and it's inspired me to write some more classically, I suppose, inspired music. I'm not classically trained, so it's good for me because it means that when I sit down to play an nylon string guitar, I don't really have an nylon string guitar technique. I don't have a classical technique, so I've got to really work on that, which is difficult sometimes, but it's a good challenge. So I've composed like 4 or 5 pieces on that guitar at the moment, and yeah, it's been good fun, it's interesting, and some of them probably will have strings on at some point. It's early days for that, but I'm going to start recording it quite soon, so hopefully that should be fine. I've also been working on some pieces that I've written that are influenced by bluegrass music, and I've discovered that I had to slightly reinvent my entire right hand technique just to be able to try and play them a bit better, which was not fun, but I worked them out and I could hear in my head how I wanted them to sound, but it wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be. So I took a long hard look at my right hand picking technique and changed it quite a bit. So I looked at 3 or 4 different techniques because I had the time to do it. So I spent a bit of time looking at different options of the same sort of right hand technique. So instead of doing maybe alternate picking, looking at doing rest strokes and a mixture of different things. So that's been hard work and really interesting, but it's resulted in me being able to play the stuff a lot better and be a lot more confident with it than I would have been originally. So that's been interesting. I've also written a couple of tunes using capos. Now, anybody who knows me will know I've probably never used a capo. They've never seen me use a capo. But Nick Campling from G7 Capo Company gave me a couple of capos, I think maybe in the off chance that I might use them one day, but unfortunately didn't give me any instructions, so I'm not really not sure how to use it. So this is my latest here. I don't know if you're meant to use the 2 at the one time, but it's worked quite well for me so far, so I'm sticking to that. But apparently you can take one of them off, I think, so I'm going to experiment a bit more with that. So I've written a couple of pieces mainly using this partial capo because it's a different sort of sound, and it just inspired me to write some stuff. So I've written a couple of things like that, and I've also got a cover version of an original that I've done using the same capo because it just seemed to work for that sort of sound. So that's musically that's the main things I've been working on. I've got myself into a routine where I pretty much work. I get up in the morning, I go out for a run, I come back, get a shower, and then I work all day, and that's worked fine for me. It's also made me realise how sort of sloppy some sides of my playing were, and how much you can improve on things when you've got time and you're really focused on doing it. So, you know, one upside of the lockdown has been that I've been able to focus on things that I just left for a long time or was too busy to deal with or didn't prioritise it, but now I spent quite a bit of time in that, so that's been really helpful, and it's really brought on a lot of different sides of my playing that I felt were lacking a little bit and I needed to work on. Apart from that, I'm sort of building a outdoor sort of studio area that I can work in and film and do different things, because I think it looks like we might need to film and you know, maybe do some online teaching or whatever, so I'm going to get a better setup for that because at the moment I don't have anything. Apart from that, that's it really, just trying to keep a bit fit, try to keep healthy-ish, trying to keep the mental health good, which is tricky, and yeah, just you can lose yourself in the guitar sometimes, and I think that helps in sort of these kind of times where it's a bit strange, a bit uncertain, nobody really knows what's happening. And in my case, like I say, I've sort of just dived right into it, got in and just like really worked at a lot of things that I would normally leave. So hopefully you're all safe and well out there, and I know we'll catch up soon. Obviously this will be broadcast at some point, and hopefully we'll get some news going into next year about gigs and getting somewhere back to normal, hopefully. And I look forward to catching up with you then. Cheers.